Hello everyone and welcome to Nipissing University. My name is Courtney Picard and I am the Career Services Coordinator here for Student Learning and Transitions at Nipissing University. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about professional communication when it comes to communicating with staff or faculty at the university. Speaking with your professors or a professional staff member might seem intimidating, but remember it is part of all of our jobs to help students learn. Remember that professors especially are people too, and communicating honestly with them when you have questions, concerns, or ideas will help you get the most out of your university experience. Choosing the right method of communication and preparing what you want to say can help you get the most out of those conversations. So how do we do that? Early on in your courses, your professor will likely give you their preferred method of communication. They may provide a phone number or extension, or an email address for you to get into contact with them. In a university setting, email is generally the preferred method of communication, but pay close attention to how your professor would like to be communicated with. Respecting the way a professor or staff member wishes to be communicated with is really key to starting your relationship off on the right foot. If your professor doesn't specify their preferred method of communication, or if they provide both a phone number and email, think about what the best use of each contact is. If you have a question about course material that needs an imminent response, email may not be your best route. Crafting an email. These are some things to keep in mind when you are communicating via email. Tone and lack of facial expression. Remember that you cannot see facial expressions or pick up on tone when you are emailing a staff member or professor. And that might mean that you have to take a little bit of greater care to make sure your email is courteous, professional, and meaningful, and that you're getting the correct point across. Even if you're emailing about something that's potentially a little sensitive, make sure that you remain calm and professional. What is the purpose of your email? Your professor likely will or may offer virtual office hours. Use that space to talk about things maybe that are a little more sensitive or a little more difficult to convey in an email. Practice what you want to say if you're nervous to talk to your professor, but remember, your professor wants to help you. Are you emailing a question that can be found on the website or in your course syllabus? If you are emailing to ask a question, ask yourself if the answer can be found elsewhere, like on your syllabus or on the course website, before asking the professor or a staff member to give up their time to answer you. Your course syllabus will outline important assignment deadlines and expectations for the course, and it might have that answer that you are seeking. And lastly, is this the person that you are meaning to email? Is this the correct contact for what you are asking? Make sure that your professor or the staff member is the correct contact for your inquiry. Sometimes teaching assistants might be able to answer you a little bit quicker or with a little more clarity. General inquiries such as how to check grades or adding and dropping classes should be directed to the office of the registrar and not the professor. So, how do we craft the email? Start every email off to a staff member or professor with a greeting, such as, "Dear Professor," and then insert whatever their name is. If you are emailing a staff member, try to take care to address them by their appropriate title, whether that is Mr., Mrs., Doctor. That information can likely be found on the website. Introduce yourself and what course you are taking / how you know the professor or staff member that you are emailing, so that they have a little more context of who you are and what you might be looking for. Remember, especially when it comes to your professors, that they likely teach more than one class, and in the beginning you won't necessarily be on a first-name basis. Clearly and concisely state the reason for your email. Keep your email as short as possible while getting all of your information across. And then end your email with a sign-off. Kind regards, and then your name is always a good bet. Remember that university is the first step to your future career. Use this time to practice communicating professionally and hone those skills now. Proofread your email for spelling and grammar and read it aloud to make sure that it matches the tone that you are trying to set. This is a little bit of an example of how an email to a professor might look. So, dear Professor Miller, my name is Hillary Mitchell and I am a first-year student in your Introduction to History course. I had a quick question regarding the first essay assignment. I'm interested in writing about the War of 1812, specifically the Battle of Queenston Heights, and I wanted to make sure with you that that is an appropriate topic for the assigned essay. Thank you in advance for your time. Regards, Hillary. It's simple, to the point, asks the question that needs to be asked, and has the appropriate greeting and send-off. If your professor prefers that you phone call them, or maybe your inquiry is a little more involved and requires you to have a conversation, you might need to consider talking live with a professor or a staff member. Often professors and staff members are allowing virtual appointments as well, so while you might not be physically seeing your professors or staff members for quite some time, you will be able to chat with them likely face to face, and that can be a little bit daunting, but it doesn't have to be. Remember that we are all people too, professors and staff members, and that we are there to help you. Practicing what you are going to say can help cut the nerves when you're making a phone call or chatting live, and making sure that you have everything prepared for the call at hand is important. So if you are calling about an assignment, make sure you have that on hand. Make sure you also have your student number and email, any information that that professor or staff member might require of you. And that leads us to the end of our professional communication. Career service appointments are available through Student Learning and Transition. So as you navigate your time here at Nipissing University, if you are interested in seeking support when it comes to career options, what you can do with your degree, resume and cover letter support, and more, please feel free to book an appointment with me. I'm always happy to chat with you face to face, on the phone, however you would like to be communicated with. There's also lots of workshops and webinars and services available for you all through career services. So make sure you keep an eye out for those opportunities. Enjoy your semester at Nipissing University.